It's 11 trivia questions on Stephen King novels for my friend Marissa Cuthbertson. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be, and welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. Thanks for checking out my show. Today is our first of many daily videos that will now pair with the audio version of the podcast. You can listen to it on any podcast app that you want, but you can also watch it on YouTube, and I'll be recording the whole week's episodes at a different venue every week. My first venue is in San Dimas, California. It's a brewery, as you can see behind me, called High Point Brewing Company. They have a million great beers here to try, and I host bingo here every Sunday from 5 to 7 p.m. You can see all my different locations and all my different times and special events over at my website, triviawithbuds.com. A lot of fun stuff going on here in the start of 2020. I mentioned it recently, but I saw Star Wars and I loved it. I want to keep telling people to go see Star Wars if they haven't gotten the chance to yet. And I got a very cool board game. Guys, I got Clue Bob's Burgers Edition. Oh man, two of my favorite things. Clue, the board game, and Bob's Burgers. And what I learned from playing this game a couple days ago with my wife is I have not been playing it the right way. I used to play it where, like, anytime you got into a room, you could just make any kind of accusation, and if you were right, you know, you won the game. And if you weren't, you would just cross off the stuff. But what you have to do is you have to go into certain rooms. So if you are making an accusation in Bob and Linda's kitchen, for example, you have to be in the kitchen to say that you think the thing happened in the kitchen. So it gets you to move around the board a lot more, and it makes perfect sense. And if you say, like, you think that Teddy did it, who's like Professor Plum in the game, you would take the Teddy piece and move him into that room, and that might screw up where that player, Teddy, was headed to, etc. So I've been playing Clue the wrong way, I think, my whole life, but I actually read the instructions, and now I'm ready to go. I've got a couple other old Clue games sitting in the garage that I found at thrift stores recently, so I'm super excited to try those out, and there's one from 1972. And like Miss Scarlet looks like a rejected Bond girl in this game. So I'll share pictures over on the Discord app chat of some of these ancient Clue games I'm finding. If you are a supporter of the show and you donate $1 or more per month, you get access to our Discord app chat, an ongoing pop culture chat room where I share extra trivia rounds and worksheets and quizzes and other fun stuff that you may not hear on every daily episode of the show. So if you have a buck to spare, go to patreon.com/triviawithbuds and throw it my way to help my show grow bigger and better every day in 2020. And special thanks to all 55 of my patrons over on Patreon. I couldn't do this show without you guys. Okay, we are going to jump into today's episode. It's all about Stephen King novels. It was picked by Patreon subscriber Marissa Cuthbertson, which she gets to do every single month for her $5 donation. That's our $5 tier. Pick a topic that you're into, and I'll record questions on it eventually. We got 11 questions coming up, and we're going to jump into them right now. Here we go. All right, here we go with some questions on Stephen King novels. We've done a lot of Stephen King on the show before, so if you get a lot out of this episode, that's great. But if you want more, go search Trivia with Buds Stephen King, and you'll find some episodes we've done on his movies, on his books, on all kinds of different stuff from the world of Stephen King. Here's question number 1. Which 80s comedy film star plays Gordy's older brother Denny in Stand By Me? Question number 1. Which 80s comedy film star plays Gordy's older brother Denny in Stand By Me? Question number 2. What Stephen King-based movie holds the record for highest grossing opening for a horror movie of all time? Question number 2. What Stephen King-based movie holds the record for highest grossing opening for a horror movie of all time? Question number 3, speaking of Academy Awards, which of these films was nominated for 7 of them but walked away empty-handed? Was it The Green Mile, The Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, or The Shining? Here are those choices again, empty-handed at the Oscars. Green Mile, The Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, or The Shining? Question number 4, finish the line that Jack types over and over in The Shining when he begins to go crazy. all work and no play, blank, 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 blank. Looking for 5 more words. All work and no play, 5 more words. What do you think they are? Question number 5. What real-life actress named Carrie auditioned for the lead role of Carrie, only to find superstardom a year later with another hit film? Question number 5. What real-life actress named Carrie auditioned for Carrie, didn't get it, but got famous from another hit film? Question number 6. Which Stephen King movie features a red-headed boy named Malachi? Question number 6. Which Stephen King movie features a red-headed boy named Malachi? Question number 7. What film had the following tagline? It started in May in a small town, and every month after that, when the moon was full, it came back. Question number 7. What film had the following tagline? It started in May in a small town, and every month after that, when the moon was full, it came back. Question number 8. Name the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from 1987 that was based on a Stephen King novel. Question number 8. Name the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from 1987 that was based on a Stephen King novel. Question number 9. What film sees Ted Danson get buried up to his neck in sand to await the incoming tide? Which Stephen King film sees Ted Danson get buried up to his neck in sand to await the incoming tide? Number 9. Question number 10. In The Green Mile, what type of food does Paul's wife make for John Coffey for helping Paul? Question number 10. In The Green Mile, what type of food does Paul's wife make for John Coffey for helping Paul? And your 2-point bonus question for 2 points. The only Stephen King movie to produce an Oscar win was for Best Actress. Name the movie and the actress. Name the movie and the actress. Those are all your questions for today's episode on Stephen King novels and movies based on those novels. We'll be right back in just a second with 11 answers. We're back with the answers to Stephen King novels and movies trivia. Let's see how you did with these 11 questions for Marissa Cuthbertson. Marissa, I hope you had your scary brain ready for today's episode. Number 1, which 80s comedy film star plays Gordy's older brother Denny in Stand By Me? That would be John Cusack from High Fidelity and Better Off Dead, John Cusack. Question number 2, what Stephen King-based movie holds the record for highest grossing opening for a horror film of all time? Just a couple years ago, I think it was 2017, it was the remake of It, which I watched on a plane, and it wasn't so scary on the plane, surrounded by people. Number 3, speaking of Academy Awards, which of these films was nominated for 7 of them but walked away empty-handed? That's crazy. 7 nominations, no wins. The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, or The Shining? That was The Shawshank Redemption. How did that movie not win something? Crazy. Number 3. Question number 4, finish the line that Jack types over and over again in The Shining when he begins to go mad. All work and no play make Jack a dull boy. Make Jack a dull boy. Very creepy stuff. Number 5, what real-life actress named Carrie auditioned for the lead role of Carrie, only to find superstardom a year later with another film? That was, of course, the late, great Carrie Fisher, who I thought they handled really well in the newest Star Wars movie. Number 6, which Stephen King movie features a red-headed boy named Malachi? That would be Children of the Corn. Number 6, Children of the Corn, not to be confused with Village of the Damned, a very similar movie. And my son Tommy has this Beatles length haircut right now, and he's got blonde hair, blue eyes. He looks like one of these children of the corn. I got to keep him away from the cornfields. Number 7, what film had the following tagline? It started in May in a small town, and every month after that, when the moon was full, it came back. That was, of course, Silver Bullet, the werewolf movie with Corey Haim. Great movie. Question number 8, name the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from 1987 that was based on a Stephen King novel. That was The Running Man. The Running Man. That's a little-known fact. Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Running Man, Stephen King novel. Number 9, what film sees Ted Danson get buried up to his neck in sand to await the incoming tide? It's a crazy scene in the movie Creepshow. And the guy who buries him is actor Leslie Nielsen from Naked Gun. So you would never expect him to be murdering someone, but he does. Number 10, in the Green Mile, what type of food does Paul's wife make for John Coffey for helping Paul? That would be cornbread. She makes some cornbread. And number 11, your 2-point bonus question. The only Stephen King movie to produce an Oscar win was for Best Actress. Name the movie. And the actress, that was Misery and Kathy Bates. They talk all about Misery and that character of Annie Wilkes in Season 2 of Castle Rock, which I just finished the other night. So if you haven't seen that yet and you love Stephen King, check out Season 2 of Castle Rock. I thought it was better than the first, but still left a lot to be desired. All right, that is today's episode on Stephen King novels and books. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching if you watched here on YouTube. It's time for our question of the day, brought to you by Funky Monkey Designs of San Dimas, California. Check them out at fmdesignsinc.com for all your printing needs. Your question of the day is, who played Sarah Palin in a bunch of skits and a big return to SNL? Who played Sarah Palin in a bunch of skits on SNL a few years back? Yesterday's question of the day answer was Heffernon for Doug Heffernon, the last name of the character on King of Queens. And your trivia team name of today is Bad Will Hunting. How do you like dem apples? Thanks for listening to the show. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for leaving reviews on iTunes. And we'll see you tomorrow for more trivia with me. Cheers.